Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I take the mystery out of beading to assist you on your beading journey. Today I have this great little tutorial for you for these double brick stitch diamond shaped earrings featuring this 80s party bead mix from the Bead Mix shop. It's this gorgeous bead mix that has all these lovely fun colors. Let's go ahead and jump in. What you will need for this tutorial is one size 10 beading needle, size bead Nymo beading thread, some wax to condition your thread with, 2 silver earring hooks, some scissors, a pair of chain nose pliers, and then for beads I'm using the size 11 Delicas in white as well as 80s party mix from the Bead Mix shop. We're going to begin here in the center of our diamond, starting with this row just here as our ladder stitch row, and that will become the points of our diamond. We're going to work upwards from our ladder stitch just like we do normally with our brick stitch pyramids. We'll do our bead loop and then we will turn our work around and work from that ladder stitch and build another pyramid. So we're going to start off here with 4 of our white Delica beads, and you're going to pinch these in between your index and thumb, and you're going to pull through, leaving a 3 to 4 inch tail at the end just like this, and this will become your tail, and that tail will stay on the left hand side as we work through. So now what we're going to do is put our needle through the first 2 beads just like this, pull through, and those will stack together. Then we will put our needle down through the 2 that are on the right hand side, pull through just like this, and they'll start to stack together a little bit nicer as we work through. So now we're going to take 2 more, following that thread down. We're going to go down through these 2 beads here, pull through, and then up through those beads to secure them. Give them a little tug, just like this, and we're going to repeat that. And then 2 more beads. We're going to go up, following our thread up, pull through, then we're going to go down through those beads to secure, and we're going to do that 2 more times so that we have 6 rows of white Delicas. Okay, now we have 6 rows of white Delicas in our ladder stitch, and we are going to continue now with our little bead mix here for 7 rows. So I'm going to pick up 2 at random. Ideally for the first row, I like to avoid a white bead, so I'm going to pick something else up, go down, and then up to secure, and repeat that 6 more times for a total of 7 rows of our bead mix. At the end here, I'm just going to go back down through the second to the last beads once more, and then up through that last row, just to give the end bit a little bit more security as I add on bricks above that. So we have completed our ladder stitch foundation row. Again, we have 6 rows of 2 beads each row of white Delicas, and then we have 7 rows of 2 beads each of our bead mix for a total of 13 rows. So we're going to continue with our bead mix for this next row above this, and we're going to decrease just by 1 for this. So we're going to have 6 rows of our bead mix. I'm going to pick up 4 beads at random. I'm going to skip the first loop and go through the second loop from back to front, pull through. Then I'm going to go up through the beads on the left, the 2 beads on the left, pull through, then down through the 2 beads on the right, then once more up through the 2 beads on the left, give it a nice little tug, and we're ready to continue our next row of brick stitch. As a reminder, after you've done the first stitch in the starting row, every additional stitch is only going to be 2 beads. So from back to front, pull through, and up through those beads to secure. From here, we're going to continue on with our white Delicas for 6 rows. For this next row, we're going to do 5 rows of white Delicas and 6 rows of our 80s Party bead mix. From here, you will repeat your brick stitch technique following the pattern and decrease with every row until you have just 2 rows left at the top of your work. When you get to the top, you can either make a bead loop or use a thread guard. I'm going to pick up 6 80s Party beads, pass my needle down through the 2 beads on the right, back up through the 2 beads on the left and my added beads, and once more down through the added beads and the 2 beads on the bottom right. To secure, I'm going to pass my needle from back to front, catching the thread in the middle of the beads. Then I'm going to pull through to create a loop with my thread, and then pass my needle through the loop, and then tug the thread to secure my knot. From here, you want to move your needle to the base of your work by passing your needle through the beads along the side until it exits down through the last bead. Pull through and then turn your work 180 degrees so that your tail is now on the top right and your working thread is on the top left. Now you can continue your brick stitch from left to right, starting with the 80s Party bead mix. From here, you will continue the pattern in a mirror image of what we did before. So the first row will be 6 rows of our 80s Party bead mix and 6 white Delicas. Then the next row will be 5 white Delicas and 6 80s Party, and so on. Okay, for our very last row for our project, we're going to pick up 2 of our bead mix beads and 2 of our white Delicas. We're going to complete this as a starting row stitch. So going through that second loop that's left over, pull through, go up through your 2 white beads, and then down through your 2 bead mix beads, and then once more up through your 2 white beads, just like that. And then to get rid of this tail, we're going to go back down through our 2 beads from our bead mix beads on the left hand side, as well as 2 more beads to follow that down on the side. Pull through. Then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your work around, put your needle from back to front just through those beads like that, and make a loop. And you can put your needle either once or twice through that loop, pull through, making sure that you hit just below that bead that you started your loop at, pull, and that's secure. So now we can hide our tail through our working beads. I'm just weaving through some of these beads here, just weaving, just securing. It's already knotted, so it is secure, but just for a little added security, we're going to weave through like that. Now you can snip your thread, and we'll get rid of this little tail as well by grabbing our needle, taking that thread out, rethreading with this little tail, just like this, and just, you know, weaving through just as we did before until you're satisfied. And then you can give that a snip as well. This is going to be our wrong side. So when you add in your little ear hook, you are going to make sure that it's pointing this direction through the work. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to open up that little loop just like that. And I'm going to point my work down where this is the wrong side. And I'm going to take my little hook of my ear hook, and I'm going to put it through my bead loop just like this. And then I'm going to close it back up. And you have a completed earring. So for your matching pair, you can do the same exact pattern, or you can reverse it so that your earrings are facing different directions. Totally up to you. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to comment below and subscribe for more tutorials just like this one. And let me know if you have any tutorial requests or questions about this tutorial. And I'll see you in the next video.